Don't cook your mouse away, because Fantasy Basketball 101 Small Forward Rankings numbers 1 to 15 starts right now. Number 1, LeBron James, of course. 2012 season, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Monster year for LeBron, and I see the numbers pretty much the same as last year. His projection for 2013, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6.5 assists. He should be still very dominant, getting points, rebounds, blocks, assists, and a lot of steals. So he should be going number 1 in your drafts. Number 2, Kevin Durant. Now, Durant is a better scorer than LeBron, but LeBron gets more rebounds, more assists, more blocks, and more steals, meaning LeBron is the better player. 2012, Durant 28 points, led the league, 8 rebounds, a very good number, and he doesn't get many assists, and that's what puts LeBron over the hump over Durant, 3.5 assists. 2013 projection, 28.5 points, close to 8 rebounds, 3.6 assists. I can't see his numbers going down. Kevin Durant's a beast. He should be going 2nd overall in drafts. Carmelo Anthony, the number 3 small forward for the New York Knicks. 2012, 22.6 points, just over 6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. He doesn't get many assists. He gets a pretty good amount of rebounds, but not a terrible amount. So that's why he's number 3. And 2013 projection, 24 points, 6.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. He should be a very good small forward. He should be going 2nd round in your drafts. Paul Pierce. He's here again every single year. PP comes back and dominates. And last year, 19.5 points. He gets 5 boards, 4.5 assists. He gets everything. And that's why he's still number 4, even though he's getting a little older. 2013 projection, 19 points, 5.5 rebounds, and just over 4 assists. It should be a very similar year to last year, except maybe a little better, because I think the back-to-back games in the short season took the toll on Paul Pierce's body. So I think this year, with more games and more time, more games and more time, and no back-to-backs, Paul Pierce should be more rested, more healthy, and more good to go, better on your fantasy points. Rudy Gay, number 5, small forward. I thought about putting him 4, but Paul Pierce gets more steals, more assists. So that's why Rudy Gay is 5. But still, 19 points, 6.5 rebounds, just over 2 assists. Great numbers for Rudy Gay. 2013 projection, a very similar year. 19 points, 6 rebounds, and just over 2 assists. So he should have a good year. He should be going around 4th-ish, around there, round in your draft. But he's a very good player. Number 6, Luol Deng. He jumped in my rankings. I see him having a phenomenal year, a career year. 15 points, 6.5 rebounds, close to 3 assists last year. But his scoring's going to be up without Derrick Rose. And he's going to be the guy in Chicago without Derrick Rose again. So 2013, his projection, 19.5 points, 6 rebounds, almost 3 assists per game. I think those numbers are very close to what he's going to do, and I think he could be a great steal if you can get him 8th and 9th round, which is where he's about going. Draft high, Luol Deng. Another guy to draft high on, Tyreke Evans. I have him in 2 of my 3 leagues. I love him this year. Last year, 16.5 points. He gets a lot of rebounds he gets a pretty good number of assists and rebounds. 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. This guy plays point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. But Isaiah Thomas is starting at point guard, Marcus Thornton starting at shooting guard. So now Tyreke Evans moved to small forward for the Kings. But he should play a lot of shooting guard, a lot of small forward, and even a little bit of point guard. So you should get a lot of assists out of him. 2013 projection, almost 18 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. But I think he's up around 18, 19 points a game. So I think you draft high in Tyreke Evans' career year coming. Danny Granger, number 8. He went down on my rankings. I had him at 6, but he's getting kind of banged up in the preseason, so I dropped him to 8. Last year he had a great year, 18.7 points, 5 rebounds, almost 2 assists. But he's not the leader of this team anymore. I think Wes and Roy Hibbert are. And I think ESPN says his numbers are going to go up. I think they're going to go down. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists is his projection. But he's already getting injured in the preseason. Why would you draft him that high? If he's already injured, he's going to get injured more in the season. I don't see a good year coming for Danny Granger. Maybe around 15 or 16 points, but not typical Danny Granger. Number 9, Gerard Wallace. He's pretty high on my rankings, even though last year he only had 13.8 points, 6.7 rebounds, but he does get a lot of steals, and that puts his fantasy value up, up, up. 2013 projection, 14 points, almost 8 rebounds, 2 steals, very good numbers, and I think he's near 15, 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals. So I think he's better than the ESPN projection. In fact, I would take him over Danny Granger, but Danny Granger, there's a lot of options in Brooklyn, and I think Danny Granger is still kind of the leader of the team, so that's why I would take Danny Granger over Gerard Wallace still, because he has more sexy numbers, and I think Danny Granger and Gerard Wallace have very similar years, and he's number 9. Number 10, barely made the top 10, Wesley Matthews. He's going to have a big fantasy year. 13.7 points, 2 threes, 1.5 steals. That's fantasy gold. 2013 season projection, 14.5 points, 2.1 threes, and 1.4 steals. He gets tons of threes, tons of steals, and I think he can crack 15 points again. Big year for Wesley Matthews. But if your league does not count threes, which some don't, then don't get him that high. Number 11, Danilo Gallinari. He's very similar to Wesley Matthews, but I like Matthews' upside a little more. 2012 season, Gallinari, 14.6 points, 1.4 threes, 4.7 rebounds. 2013 projection, 15 points, 1.7 threes, and 4.8 rebounds. Very similar year, but he's going to have a better year this year. He's going to crack 1,300 points, around 1,200 points. It should be a good year for Danilo Gallinari, but I'd rather have Wesley Matthews because he has more upside. Number 12, Nicholas Batum. 14 points, 2 threes, and 4.5 rebounds is his 2012 season numbers. And now he gets a lot of threes, a lot of rebounds, and he gets a decent amount of steals. So that's why he's a good fantasy player. 2013 projection, 14 points, 2 threes, around 5 rebounds, and around 1.5 steals. That's very good fantasy numbers, and I like Nicholas Batum this season. And he'll play a lot of shooting guard. In fact, I think he will be a shooting guard, but I have him at small forward because him and Wesley Matthews, I'm not sure which is going to shooting guard, which at small forward, so I put them both in small forward. But I think Batum has a good career year. Evan Turner. I'm very high on Turner this year. 2012, 10.4 points, 5.4 rebounds, and that's all he does. He scores any rebounds. He doesn't get any steals, no assists, no threes, no nothing, but he does get not that good steals. So he's pretty much just going to score and rebound, and that's what his 2013 projection is. 13.5 points, around 7 rebounds, but ESPN says 1 steal, which is pretty good. So I think he's going to take over for Andre Iguodala. Evan Turner's going to start and get more playing time than he did last year. So I think it's a big year for Evan Turner in fantasy. Number 14, Gordon Hayward, another guy who's sneaky under the radar. You can get him late rounds. 2012, 11.8 points, 0.8 threes per game, but that's pretty good. 3.5 rebounds. He's not going to rebound. He gets points and threes. 2013 projection, close to 15 points, 1 3, which is pretty good numbers off the bench, and 4 rebounds, which is pretty good too. So I think he could be a good late round steal, and he's gonna have better numbers than people think. I say he has around 15.5, 16 points off the bench for the Jazz. I think he's gonna win 6th Man of the Year this year. Gordon Hayward, big fantasy year. And then number 15.